Excellennial here with another story-based Excel tutorial. And today I'm going to be telling you about Luke the Woodworker. Luke is working to become more organized with the discounts that he hands out. To do this, he has created a list of buyers, the number of purchases that those buyers have made in a recent time frame, and the size of their purchases on average based on the pricing that they paid. Luke wants to use this data to figure out the best people to give out coupon codes to, rather than giving them random discounts. So let's see if we can help with that. Here's his spreadsheet of the buyers, recent purchases in a certain time frame, and the average payment of those purchases. Now what we're going to do is actually use two functions together. The first one is going to be the if function, and the second one is the and function. But let me break the and function down first. That's the new one here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell Excel if a purchase is more frequent or greater than the number 4, and the average purchase size is greater than 30, we are going to get a true or false. True is going to be the answer if it matches both of those criteria, 4 or greater than, or $30 or greater than. If it doesn't match even one of those criteria, it's going to be marked as a false. So let's start with the and function, because there's really two ways that we can do this. So on the data tab, I'm going to go to column E, and I'm going to focus on row 2. That's the only data that I'm collecting right now, so we only need to look at cell E2 and the data in row 2. So we'll do equal and, since this is a function, it always starts with the equal symbol. I'll select and now it's going to be looking for logical requirements. What is it requiring? What data is it requiring to give a true result versus a false result? So that first one is that we want the information from column C, C2 in this case, to reflect the number 4 or greater. So how we're going to type that out is first selecting cell C2, and next we're going to put in the greater than symbol. So it needs to be greater than the number 4. That is our first logical piece that we are giving to the and function. Now that is the requirement number 1. We can type in a comma now, and you can see that it moves on to and highlights logical 2. So we've already added the first requirement to get a true statement. The second piece is going to be selecting cell D2, and D2 needs to be greater than or equal to 30.00. So we've now added our two logical requirements, and we can hit enter. And it'll give us a true because this first row does in fact have a recent purchase number equal to 4 or greater than 4, and the average payment here is equal to or greater than 30. Now, I'm going to double click this little button, and it's going to update the formula for each of these rows all the way down, and then we can get a better idea of what false is considered. So again, like I said, I'm just going to click in here real quick so you can see this. Equal and C3, it updated to the row 3, is greater than or equal to 4. That's not true here, it's only a 2. And in D3, it's equal to or greater than 30. And it is greater than 30, but it didn't match the first requirement, so it did appear as false in column E. So with the and function, the great thing about this is that it requires both parameters to be met. So since the column C in row 3 is only a 2, it did not match the two requirements. You can even see here in row 10, that's a 4, so it does match the requirement, but the pricing is only 19. So as you can scroll through here, you can see a lot of these false items are because one of the items did not match. A lot of times you can see that they did match, at least one. So the good thing about that is that it gives us a clear indication of which items actually met both parameters in a true or false, very simple way. Now what we're going to do with the if function is add a different answer. So instead of just adding those parameters and saying true or false, we can change what the response from Excel will be. And now we're going to do if and together. So now that I broke down the and function for you, you will be able to understand much more clearly how I'm putting these two together. So the first thing that we're going to do is the equal symbol as usual, because it's the start of a function or formula, and we will type in if this time instead of and first. Now you can see when it very first pops up, the first thing that it asks for is the logical test, which in this case is going to be the exact same thing that we just did with the and function. So since the formula is already started, we don't need another equal symbol, but we will type and. Now this is starting off exactly what we just did. So we're going to select, and we're focusing on row 2 only. So we're going to select cell C2, greater than or equal to 4. That's our first logical test, so we can hit comma, we're done with that. And then D2, greater than or equal to 30.00. And we are done adding the logical test. So now you can see that I've selected in between the two ending parentheses. It's actually changed back to the if function. It now says if logical test again at the bottom there, right under the formula. Now that I've finished putting the and information in, the logical test is done and I can type comma. Now it moves straight on over to the value if true and value if false. So we could leave these here and then it would just be true or false, but then the if function is not needed here. That would have just been exactly what we just did with the and function, just giving a true or false answer. That's not what we want here. We've added the if function so that we can customize what the value if true and value if false results are. I want this to say, if these two values are true, according to the and function, I want it to say, quote, give coupon. Now I put these in quotation marks because this is the exact text that I wanted to say. It's not another function or formula or anything like that. It's exact text. So if those parameters are true, I want it to say give coupon. And then if the value is false, I just typed in a comma, so we've moved on to value if false, quote, no discount, quote. Now this is the entire formula. Now this is exactly what we wanted. If this and logical test is accurate, if these parameters are matched, then give coupon if true or no discount if false. So that's the reason why we have the if function in here. If true, it can post this result. If false, it can post this result. The big difference here is that if we only use the and function, we can put in multiple logical tests, but we can only get true or false results. If we only use the if function, we can only put in one logical test and put in whatever true or false results we want. It can say whatever we want. That's why we need them together. The if function allows multiple different ways to put the true or false answers, not just true or false. And the and function allows multiple logical tests. That's why these are so important to have together like this. So now that we've put in that full formula, what we're going to do is press enter and it will give us give coupon or no discount. So in this first instance, like we saw last time when we just had the and function, it did say true on this first row too. That is because in column C, the number of recent purchases is equal to or greater than the number 4, and the average payment in column D is equal to or greater than the number 30. So now same thing as last time. If we hit this little square in the corner, we could double click it or drag it down. We can fill in all of these rows automatically. It'll automatically update all of the data to match the row. Since the first row we were working on was exclusively row 2, it was only data from row 2. Now when it adds all of the data in, it matches whatever row it's on. So this one being row 3, the data has updated to all the data in row 3, row 4, and so on. So what we know from this now is exactly who has met these parameters that we've set and who we would be giving coupons to as opposed to not giving any discounts to. Now the only thing that would make this easier is just putting on a quick filter, data, filter, and then just filtering out all of the no discount ones. Now you can see looking at all of these, they meet all of the parameters that we set, not just one, but both of the logical parameters that we set. And if we go to no discount, we can clearly see that at least one of the parameters did not match. So as simple as that, with two functions put together, we were able to get a very clear picture of who Luke can give discounts to according to the parameters that he set. This is super helpful to him and is a pretty simple breakdown once you can actually see how it's put together. Let me know if you have any questions about this process, and until next time, have fun excelling.